It was the beginning of the summer holidays in 2008. I'd just finished college and we wanted to have some fun in the holidays. So I invited all of my friends round and we were going to go and chill at the lake for a day. There was a huge lake near my house where all the kids used to play and just chill out in the summer because it was a really nice spot. So me and my friends packed our stuff for the day and just went down there. It was a man-made lake and obviously completely landlocked. The water was really nice and it was always full of people just playing on rafts and just having a really nice time. So we chilled there for the day and we actually decided to stay there for the evening. Thought it would be quite nice, as once all the crowds go, it would just be us and we'd have the lake to ourselves. So we put a tent out and just relaxed. Once it got to about 4 PM, all of the crowds had gone and it was just us and a couple of other people. A woman from a different group came up to us and said, "Yo guys, do you want to come with us? We're going to the dead lake." I said, "What do you mean the dead lake?" She said, "Have you not seen? It's supposedly a haunted lake which is really close to us." I didn't even know about another lake that was near here, but we said, sure, why not? Me and my friend thought we wouldn't be very long, so we literally just took ourselves. We followed her and a couple of friends to the lake. It was about a 10-minute walk, and once we arrived there, it was really creepy. It was a small lake, and it looked really dirty, the water, not like somewhere you'd want to swim. The girl said, "Hey guys, by the way, I'm Lauren." I said, "Hi." She got her bag off of her back and pulled out a Ouija board. I said, I don't know about a Ouija board, it's not my kind of thing. My friend Joe went, "No guys, this is going to be so fun, let's do this." I said, "Oh, fine, come on then." She got the Ouija board out and her couple of friends came and sat with us. There was now about 11 or 12 of us and we were all sitting around the Ouija board right next to this lake. We put our hands on the counter and said, "Hello, is anybody there?" At first nothing happened, we were all just laughing, thinking it was quite funny. And then suddenly, the counter we were using just flung and flew away into the lake. I said, "What the hell? Who did that? Did anybody do that?" They said, "No." What the hell? It had literally gone at like 100 miles an hour and just shot right into the lake. We were not getting that back. Lauren then pulled a glass out of her bag and said, "Right, we're going to have to use this instead." We said, "All right then." So we put it back and said, "Hello, is anybody there?" It moved. It spelled out, "Go away or you're dead." We were all laughing, thinking it was some kind of joke, and we went, "Haha, yeah, come on then, if there's someone really there, do something." And then they did. We then heard the splashing of water from in the lake. But all of us were sitting around the Ouija board. We thought maybe there was someone else there. When we looked over, there wasn't. I pulled out a torch and walked over right up to the lake. I froze. Guys, come and have a look at this." They walked over. We were all standing there, blank-faced, staring at a dead body in the lake. No one was by the Ouija board and the glass smashed and flew into the lake. We said, "What the hell is going on? We need to go, now. This is dead creepy." "Damn right it is," they replied. Lauren grabbed her Ouija board and put it in her bag, and we ran away from the lake, back to where we were camping at the other lake. But once we got back, things got even worse. There was a man standing there, staring straight at us. He was standing right outside of our tent. He said, "You asked for this." He pulled out a knife and slashed our tent. He said, "You're next." We didn't know what to do. All of our stuff was there. We wanted to run, but where could we go? It was pitch black, and we couldn't see anything. We couldn't make out the face of this figure because it was so dark. But something very, very strange was going on here, and we were all terrified. I said to the man, "Did you kill that woman? The one in the lake?" He said, "Oh no. She killed herself. She did a long time ago. But this is all your fault. You summoned us. You asked for this to happen." We were all just standing there frozen, absolutely petrified. We then realised we made a big mistake. At the end of a Ouija board game, you have to say goodbye, or bad things happen, like a curse. We never said goodbye. I said, "Guys, has anybody else got a glass or a counter? We need to do this now." The guy stayed staring straight at us, but didn't do anything. Lauren pulled out the Ouija board and said, "Okay guys, we're going to have to use this." She had a small flask top and we put it on the board. We said, "Please forgive us for what we have done. We are very sorry for everything. We won't tell anyone, we won't intrude in anything. Goodbye." We then folded up the Ouija board and put it in the bag. The man had now vanished. We were all absolutely petrified and we realised we needed to get some sleep before we could think straight. In the morning, we woke up. I thought, maybe it was all a dream, maybe none of that actually happened. But the tent was still slashed. There was a knife on the floor. This was all very strange. What the hell had happened? We packed up our stuff and went home. I said goodbye to my friends, and I told my parents what had happened when I got home. They said, "Really?" I don't know. Of course they didn't believe me. I still have no idea what happened that night, but I won't be returning to that lake again. It was the 17th of July, 2014. I just finished school for summer break, and I wanted to have some fun. So I organised a sleepover for me and a big group of friends of about 6 or 7. We thought it would be great fun, and we could go around the local neighbourhood, playing pranks and just having a laugh. So we all planned to meet up the following week at my place. So the next week, I got films, food, everything you could imagine, drinks, and it was all ready for the evening. All of my friends came knocking at the door at about 7 and 8 p.m, and they all came in. Once everybody was in, my friend James came, and he said, "Guys, I know something fun we should do." We all said, "What?" He said, "Let's go to the factory." I said, "What do you mean the factory? Why would we go to someone's workplace?" He said, No, it's abandoned, but it's meant to be haunted and it looks really creepy. It'd be such a laugh." I said, "I don't know, it's a bit strange." But the other boys said, "Let's do it and let's take a Ouija board." James thought, "Let's do this will be so fun." I was pretty skeptical and scared, but I thought, why not? It'll be a good laugh. So I got my Ouija board from under my bed, and around 10 p.m, we all set out. I said, "James, where is the factory? Is it a long way away?" He said, "No, it's just down the road." But I'd never seen it before. It was strange. After a 10-minute walk, we got to the gate. "Oh my god, this is awesome," said James. I said, "I don't know, this is really creepy." There was a huge sign which said, "Come in." I thought this was a very, very strange thing to be on an abandoned factory. I said, "James, why is there a sign up there?" He said, "Oh no, don't worry, it's just the locals put it up. Lots of kids come here and play. It's calm." I said, "Alright, no worries." We all walked through the gates and into the factory. Once we were inside, I knew James was right, and it was dead creepy in there. It was pitch black, cobwebs, and it had definitely been abandoned for a long time. We walked around for about 5 minutes, and one of the boys said, "Where's James?" He had vanished. We looked around for ages and we couldn't find him anywhere. And then we saw something. It was almost like a meat locker, and James was standing outside of it, just staring straight at it. I walked up to him and said, "James, you scared us all. What the hell are you doing?" He didn't reply. He just stared fixated on the wall. I said, "James, what are you doing?" I shook him. He did not move a muscle. Then we heard something, like banging and footsteps, almost like a knife on a chopping board. I said, "Guys, is that you?" They said, "No, was it you?" But no one made that noise, and it carried on getting closer and closer. I said, "Guys, you said this place was abandoned, what the hell?" They said, "It is, I swear, there can't be anyone here." But there was. Then there was a voice. It came from like an old man. He said, "Get out." Now we knew that James hadn't been staring at the wall. He was staring at this guy. One of the boys, Theo, stood up and said, "Oi, old man, what do you want? Who are you?" We all thought maybe it's other kids from the neighbourhood coming and playing here. But it did sound a lot like an old man. But the man replied and said, "Don't you dare talk to me like that." Then came the sound of a drill from within the darkness. I said, "Guys, I think we should go now." They said, "No, it's just some stupid kids. Let's play the Ouija board." This other person that was there just didn't say anything else, and the whole building was quiet now. But I was still terrified. Nevertheless, I got the Ouija board out and put it on the ground. We all sat down, and then suddenly I saw a man. A big, old man wearing a hood came up and grabbed Theo and pulled him away. We all shouted, "Oi, stop, what the hell are you doing? He's not done anything to you. Who are you?" The guy then said, "Your friend here is in trouble, and so are you if you don't leave my building." We all knew now that we needed to leave right now, but we couldn't leave Theo behind. The old man and Theo disappeared into the darkness. I could just hear Theo screaming. And then it sounded like a jackhammer or a saw, followed by Theo screaming. I didn't know what was going on, but I was terrified. I ran to where the sound was coming from, and I found Theo. His finger was bleeding, almost like it had been chopped into. But I avoided the point, I picked him up, and I said, guys, we need to go now. We all ran as fast as we possibly could out of the building. But the gate to the road was now locked. I said, oh, for Christ's sake, we need to go now. We all helped Theo get over the fence, and then we all climbed. We got through the road, and we ran as fast as we possibly could, all the way back to my house. When we got back there, we said to my mum, oh my God, there's some crazy man in the factory. He literally, look what he's done. He chopped half of his finger off. My mum said, what? What do you mean? I need to go and check this out. She got in her car and she drove to where the factory was. The gates were wide open, and the door to the factory was boarded up. There was no one there, and no trace that there had ever been anybody there. That's what she told us when she got back. We said, what do you mean? We were literally there just now. Are you at the did you go to the wrong place? She said, there's only one factory around here. We were really confused now. What the hell had just happened? But we fixed up Theo's finger, and we went to sleep. In the morning, I was awoken by a knock at the door. I went downstairs to see the postman. Had all of his packages and everything. But it wasn't the usual postman. It was an old man wearing a hood. He said, don't say a word. To this day, I am so confused and have no idea what happened that night. Was that man actually in the factory? Was he some kind of crazy man? Or was it something more sinister? It was Halloween night 2012, and I wanted to do something fun for Halloween with my friends. So we planned to go to the abandoned school, which was down our road. We'd never been there before, but we'd heard locals had gone there and seen very, very strange things or heard things. So we thought we'd go there and scare ourselves. My friend bought a Ouija board, as he thought it would be a good idea to use it. But none of us had ever used a Ouija board before, and we had no idea what we were doing. So that was a very bad idea. It got to around 8 PM, and my 4 friends had arrived at my house. Jamie, who loved being scared and had the Ouija board, said, are you guys ready to go to this school? We all said, yeah. I was pretty apprehensive and terrified, to be honest with you, because I'd never been to an abandoned building before, and I'd never used a Ouija board. We got all of our stuff together, and at 10 PM, we set off. After a 20-minute walk, we got to the school. But it was completely boarded up, so we didn't know how to get in. I said, guys, well, how are we going to get in if it's boarded up? They said, oh, guys, trust me, I know a lot of kids that have been in here. Let's go around the back. We went around the back, and there was a tiny crawl space under the ground, which let you inside into almost like the cafeteria. This was scary, because if something happened, it would be very hard to get out of. Nevertheless, we crawled through and got into the building. When we got inside, it was very creepy, and it was clear that this place had been abandoned for a very long time. The lockers were all smashed up, nothing really was intact in there. But we thought it would be great fun to play the Ouija in here. So we put the board on the ground and we sat around it. We said, if there's anyone there, please give us a sign. We've never done this before and we're scared, but we want to know if there's anybody here. It stopped for a minute and nothing happened, but then it slowly moved from letter to letter and it said, leave. We said, but we don't want to leave, we want to find out what happened and if anybody's here. We said, is there anything you can tell us? What actually happened at this place? Do you know? Again, it spelled leave. But we didn't want to leave. We wanted to find out what the hell was going on. So I said again, whoever's there, please just tell us what happened in this place. Or who you are, please. And then we will go. The board then said, okay, you really want to know? We said, yes, please just tell us. Nothing happened for a couple of moments, and then there was a huge bang. It was like somebody was knocking on the door or the walls around the building. We were like, oh my God, what is going on? We looked out of the small windows, which were slightly boarded up, and there was nobody outside. Then there was the sound of footsteps coming closer and closer to us. We were terrified now. We said, whoever's there, just stop, okay? Just stop. If anybody's there, please. The counter on top of the board then just flew across the room and smashed into the wall. We said, guys, we need to go now. This is dead creepy. They said, no, it's fine. It's just a board. We said, no, we need to go. This is really scary. Then the sounds got even louder. There was just tons of loud sound, like bells and horns. This was when my friends looked at me and said, "Okay, we need to go now." But we knew we needed to do one thing before we left. We needed to say goodbye to the Ouija board so that nothing else happened. So, my friend had a bottle in his bag. We had to use the top of that as we didn't have the counter. We said, "We're sorry for what we have done. Please don't harm us. Goodbye." We then folded up the board and crawled through the crawl space under the ground and out to outside. But on the outside was a man, standing there with like a walking stick. He stared at us. He said, "I told you to leave." We froze and stared at the man. We were terrified. We were like, "We said goodbye. What's going on? But we did leave. I'm sorry. What have we done?" The guy said, "You have made a big mistake. Go now, or you will pay." Me and the boys just looked at each other, and we ran as fast as we possibly could all the way back home. We got into bed, and we were absolutely terrified now. But we needed to get some sleep, and in the morning we could talk about what happened, and figure out what actually happened. In the morning, we were all just as confused as each other, and scared. What had happened? To this day, I still have no idea what happened. Was that somebody just playing a Halloween prank on us? Or did the Ouija board really curse us?